Hello and welcome again to my channel. Today we are speaking communication. I'm going to do a series of videos on communication, but for now we're doing just the basics. What is communication all about? Now, the reasons for communication is for any system to run smoothly, whether it's a mechanical system or a biological system. If there's anything wrong with the communication, we're going to have problems. Like, for example, we have mechanical systems like our cars, washing machines, microwaves, tumble dryers, etc. We expect those systems to work smoothly. If I book a ticket online, for example, I expect that system to work smoothly. If anything goes wrong, I make a whole hoo-ha about it. Now, what about our social system? Our biological being is part of a bigger social system. We have an internal communication system that makes our bodies function properly. But then we also have an external communication system where we have the communities and the society as a whole function properly, so we have to send messages out in different ways. For our purposes, we are only going to concentrate on the human body and our social communication systems. Now, there's very little we can do about our internal systems. That operates automatically. What it requires, we need to put in. It will tell us when we are thirsty, when we need to eat, when there's pain, etc. That is a type of communication. And within our body, the hormones and nerves will tell other parts of the bodies what to do. For example, if we see a car coming, it will tell our legs to get out, to run and get out of the way. But we're going to concentrate more on the external system. And the external system is based basically on respect. Our communication shows our level of respect. For example, how we address people and what we convey to them. It also tells us the relationships that we have with people, whether it's a professional communication, whether it's a friendly communication, that determines the type of language we're going to use. Now, the types of communication that we have to the outside world is varied. For example, right now I am speaking to you via media. I can speak to people directly, I can speak to them on the telephone, and I can speak to them via this medium as well. So there are different types of communication. So there are different modes of communication, and the different types of communication that we can have also from ourselves is we can have our speech, which is audio. We have visual, we can paint something, we can write something and read it. So there are various types of communication, and if I use my hands, for example, to point, etc., that is also gesticulation. If I'm upset with somebody, I can throw an eye, or I can use my hands to show something, or just by walking the way I walk. So that body language says a lot as well. Sometimes our words might be nice, but the body says something different. The types of communication that we have conveys exactly what we need to do. What I'm going to concentrate on is basically our written and verbal communication, just for social purposes. And I'm going to start off with something very simple. For example, I need to get to a friend of mine, and I'm saying, I'm on my way. Poor, she doesn't know where I am. I could be at the shop and come. I could be 5 minutes away from her. I could just be leaving home. I could be anywhere. So the best thing for me to say is, I am leaving home now, and I should be with you in the next 5 or 6 minutes, depending on the traffic, or maybe in the next 20 or 30 minutes, depending on the traffic. And in the meantime, I can update if it's possible. If I have made an arrangement with somebody and tell this person, I'm going to be with you at 10 o'clock, and I know I'm not going to make it, I should not wait until 10 o'clock to tell the person I am going to run late. The moment I know I am not going to make it, even if it's a day before the time, I need to tell that person so that they can make other arrangements. They can do something in the time instead of sitting and waiting. And that is what I mean by respect. If I respect myself, I would not let somebody sit and wait for me and I know I'm going to be late. My respect for myself will be the type of respect I expect from others. So if I communicate accurately and effectively all the time, it will come back to me. Accurate communication should eliminate 20 questions. If I want to advertise an event, I need to state exactly when it's going to be, where it's going to be, what time it's going to start, so that people can prepare themselves and how long it's going to be running for. Now, all other communication needs to be exactly the same. As much information that is required to make the other party comfortable to prepare their own schedule as well. The moment you know there's a change in plans, convey it to whoever it concerns. Do not wait till the last minute. And communication has two parts. That's why it's communal. Com says there's something else involved. So there's another party, and the other party needs to listen either, or read, or look at it very carefully, whatever it is. And quite often I find myself guilty of looking at something as opposed to read it completely, but then I look at the first few sentences and I make a conclusion or respond, and then I respond incorrectly and make a fool out of myself. Or very often I just delete it as I see, oh, there's something different, and then I start deleting. And for that reason, I try to be patient, read to the end, digest the information before I respond. And it's not always possible. Sometimes I am guilty of wanting to respond even before a person has finished the sentence, and that is a very bad habit. Listening is the other part of communication, because if the person whom I communicate to does not absorb the information correctly, it can be misinterpreted, misunderstood, and then we have problems. And quite often we have major issues in families, among friends, because of misunderstandings. Our facial expressions, our tone of voice should tell a lot. And if we are not sure about what the other person is conveying, make a point of prodding and checking. And when we part, that there is clarity, that we don't part with acrimony, that we have some ill feelings or something like it. When we part, let it be in an amicable situation. If there's any doubt, for example, and we don't know sure how to handle it, yes, we can delay the response, we can delay the inquiry, and not in accusative fashion, but in a probing fashion. Ask, what do we mean by this? I heard you saying this, and did I understand you correctly? That is to maintain good relationships with everybody. And like I said, it's really respect, the level of respect that we show. But another type of communication that we have is on the road, that says road signal. A driver is communicating to another driver, or even to a pedestrian, that I'm going to turn. I was very, very amazed to see that a driver from quite a distance was indicating, probably she saw me walking at quite a good pace, and then indicated that he was going to turn to allow me to make a decision. I could sense the urgency of his action of saying, I'm going to turn here, it's safe for you to walk, etc. So for our courtesy to convey to other people, I'm going to turn as early as possible and as safely as possible, indicate to people, not on the last minute that I am turning or that I have turned already and then put an indicator on. It doesn't make any sense. The use of it is to indicate that we are going to do something. And so wherever it is that we are intending to do something, whether it is even leaving somebody's house, or a passenger has to come with you, inform them timeously so that the person doesn't have to rush around, grab things and forget something because they were informed on the last minute that you are going to leave. out of respect for other people, communicate as effectively as possible and retain those beautiful relationships that you have because of that beautiful communication, so that people can feel valued. This person cherishes my friendship, or is sensitive to how I feel, and therefore I get the information in time. I have the time to prepare well. Important thing is, the earlier we convey information to anybody, the better they can prepare themselves, and it helps a lot to inform people in good time. Now, when we listen to somebody, it's important also to listen. We listen for the head, that is the brain. We listen for the heart, and that is what feelings are they conveying? In what mood are they when they are speaking? Is there a need for assistance, a silent scream for help? And then we listen for the feed, the motivation for the communication. Why is this person sending me this information? Do they want me to assist them? Do they want me to come along? I trust that in this year we will have much fewer misunderstandings because of our effective and accurate communication that saves us time and often saves us money. And enjoy communication. Yeah, I'm looking at two pieces of information, and one is a souvenir from a little town in Turkey, and they tried in this little towel to give as much information as possible about the culture of the town. Now, if we could do something like this, get in as much information as possible in the shortest space of time, it will help us greatly. And then I'm going to another little one that says, love from Saint-Tropez. So up to us to communicate what we feel. Another communication tip: if you post a photograph or a video and it's not clear what it's all about, give it a caption by yourself. It helps the person opening that message to see exactly what it is, so that they can decide whether to open the video or photograph and watch it. So if you post, give it a caption and respect your reader, respect the person you're sending it to by telling that person, this is what I'm sending you. That is part of our respect in communication.